Hello, and welcome to Discovering with Dr. Deb. We're new to podcasting, but I certainly hope this content is helpful to you. Over the course of the next couple seasons, I'll be sharing content about the Enneagram, trauma, and how living in this pandemic has added a lot of trauma to our lives, and how to move on from here. EMDR, eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, and how it helps people move through and past their trauma, self-care, and more mental health stuff. We'll be spending the first season looking at the Enneagram and how you can use the Enneagram to learn more about yourself and why you do what you do. Discovering the Enneagram with Dr. Deb is next. Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. Deb. I'm here with my Ennea buddy.
Ennea buddy.
My Ennea buddy, Jason Gilmore.
I have been an Ennea pal.
You have.
I have been an Ennea friend.
You have.
And now I am an Ennea buddy.
Ennea buddy. My
I think
Ennea
we're
buddy.
buddies.
All things Enneagram, Jason
All
Gilmore.
things Enneagram. Deborah Brayboy.
So today we're going to talk about Enneagram types and their wings. So everybody has their main type, their Enneagram type.
I call it wings and things. I had to get that in there.
I like that.
Wings and things.
Wings and things.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
We did
so-
the things before.
We did the things before.
Now we're
this
doing
is
the
the
wings.
Yeah.
So the thing about the wings.
Yes.
See what I did there?
The thing about the wings. Come on now, you're playing into this
I'm getting up there.
Okay, you're doing good.
So everyone has their core number.
Yes.
And it's kind of interesting when I hear people talk about, I'm a 9 with a 4 wing, or I'm
you're
a
not.
6 with a 8 wing or
No,
something.
you're not.
So it doesn't work that way.
Right.
So we have our core number, our type.
Because wings are closest to you.
Right, and
Okay.
our core type never changes, and then our wings are kind of like the flavoring, the salt and pepper.
The salt and pepper.
The flavoring. Some people like it a little more spicy, but
The
we'll stick to
seasonal.
seasonal.
The seasonal on your fries.
There you go.
Yes.
So your flavoring, and your wings are always going to be the number on either side of your main number. So for a 1 or a 9, a 9 can have 8 or 1. 1 can have 9 or 2. And on through the rest of them. But
Right.
anyway, so the flavor. So I heard a podcast. Suzanne Stabile was on it. She's all things Enneagram,
Phenomenal.
and she kind of described,
Author of the book, The Road Back to You.
co-authored that one.
Co-authored that one,
Ian
that's right.
Morgan Cron.
Which is a phenomenal book.
Right. And others. She's got lots of others. But she said that a lot of times people they have a dominant wing during their childhood, and then their dominant wing in adulthood
It's interesting.
is kind of usually the opposite. But regardless, we can tap into both wings at any given time.
Right.
We just tend to have a more dominant wing that we operate from.
I like to say that you fly better with both wings.
Well, that would make sense.
See? So
Yeah.
it's okay to have,
Yeah.
but typically you do lean heavier towards one or the other.
Right. So let's just kind of today I think we're just going to give a little wings at a glance overview, just a little snippet of
Okay.
each of the types. So we'll start with 8,
Of
as
course.
we tend to do.
Yes.
And we will talk about their wings. So 8s can have a wing 7 or a wing 9. Wing 7 is called the Maverick.
Why?
So tell us about the 8 wing 7.
So they're more extroverted.
Right.
They're more energetic, quick, interested in power, materialistic.
Okay.
They tend to be 8s with a wing 7. Tend to be
Right.
that. With a wing 9,
Right.
we like to call them the bear.
Right.
And that's because they're more mild-mannered, like a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
More gentle, more receptive. They like to be comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy their comforts, quietly strong.
Right. I used to say my husband was like a wingless 8. Because I couldn't figure out what his wing was, but I think I've landed on that. He's a 8 with a 9 wing.
I can see that.
They're a little less out there in your face, kind of
Right,
like they're more introverted typically.
I like that quietly strong.
Quietly strong. They are quite protective over their people. whether it be their family.
That's an 8 in
could
general.
It is.
Uh-huh.
But they're more people-oriented, where the other 8s
Can be a little more
interested kind of in the power and
materialistic
materialistic.
Okay.
So 9s can have an 8-wing or a 1-wing, and the 8-wing is the comfort seeker. I had a real hard time trying to figure out if I'm an 8-wing or a 1-wing.
Because you're a 9.
I'm a 9. We tend to not know ourselves as well.
Right.
But I've landed on where I'm at. I had help. I had to kind of ask other people what I might be. I'm a 9 with a 1-wing. But let's talk first about the 9 with the 8-wing.
Okay.
That's the comfort seeker. They tend to be more outgoing. They're a little bit more extroverted. They're more assertive. They may kind of vacillate between being confrontational and conciliatory. So that's not me.
I don't see that being you.
No, I'm the 1-wing.
So a 9-wing 1 is called the dreamer.
Right. I know, and I didn't really like that name.
I'm not crazy about that definition, but but I think it's because they're controlled, they're focused, they're cerebral, they're very they have those tendencies that the 1 has.
Right.
Of being organized and being, not just go with the flow, but having a plan in place.
Well, and you made a great point. So that's the thing about the wings, is you're taking on some traits and strengths from that wing number. So the 1 in being focused and cerebral and having a plan, working the plan, sticking to the plan, those kinds of things. So that's the 9. They're more introverted too, the 9 with the 1-wing. So
Right.
it's kind of how that one plays out. 1s have a 9-wing and a 2-wing. So the 1-wing 9 is the idealist. They tend to be cooler, more relaxed, introverted.
Like a 9.
Like a 9.
More
They're
chill.
taking on that 9, impersonal, objective, detached. So that's the 9-wing. It's the idealist. The 1-wing 2 is the advocate. Because they're pulling from that helper, that number 2 wing.
Right, which tends to insert themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
they have that superpower I've talked about before, where they can sense what people need
And just go there.
and go there. And so that's kind of what they're doing.
So 1-wing 2, the advocate tends to be a little warmer, a little more helpful. They're fiery, vocal, because 2s can be, 2s can be vocal.
Yep.
Action oriented
Right.
and controlling.
Right. So that's a 1-wing 2. So the type 2 wing. I'm trying to think of people that I know that kind of are good examples of that. I don't know. I sometimes I think of people in the Bible, what would,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I get Mary and Martha mixed up all the time, but I mean, I see that advocate. I don't know if she's a 2 with a 1-wing or a 1 with a 2-wing.
Martha was the helper.
I know. So that
And
was
Martha
the 2.
got real mad when,
See, that's
Yeah.
that fiery.
yeah, she got ticked off because she's in there doing all the work. and
Right.
Mary's out there.
Sitting at the feet.
Yeah. She's like, get in here and help me cook the potatoes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I see that kind of advocate part in there too. Or see, servant, 2 with the 1-wing. Here we go. 2 with the 1-wing is the servant. Idealistic, reasonable, objective, self-critical, quietly serving, and judgmental.
Wow.
So that's kind of
More of a servant style.
more of a servant style.
I like 2-wing 3.
2-wing 3.
2-wing 3 is called the host or hostess. They're very outgoing, very charming, very a flatterer.
Right.
Ambitious, competitive. 2s that take on that 3-wing tend to, pull from that competitive and outgoing and all
Right.
those things that is very typical in a 3.
Right. They pulled from that 3 real heavily. It's kind of funny. I think I've had people tell me before that they think they might be like a 2 with the 3-wing, and then they become a 3. And I'm like, it doesn't happen that way. but I can appreciate them trying to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where we talked about before, like the paths, like if you get it on your growth path, but you don't path to your wing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tidbit to share, because I think sometimes all this can get a little confusing.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of layers to it, a lot
Yeah.
of nuances to the Enneagram.
And it's a lot we're dumping on them at once.
Sorry.
We're hoping you can take it 1 week at a time.
I know.
One
All right.
episode at a time.
So our type 3 wings.
Okay, so type 3 with a 2 is going to be... So I like to see a 3 wing 2 as someone who is all about helping others, pulling out the ability in others.
Okay.
Okay? So they're a little warmer.
Okay.
They're very encouraging. They tend to be... they enjoy being the center of attention.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, you think of some like TV personalities or athletes, some of those, I mean, that would fit this description pretty well.
Uh-huh. The star.
They're popular.
Yes.
They're very social. I know a lot of times for them, they look like they're real social, but they're kind of private and soft-spoken, and so they may not be a 3. But I mean,
So
when
they
you
use
think
a
of
word.
these-
They
yeah.
use a word here that I'm going to dive into for a second.
Okay.
The word is seductive,
Okay.
and we automatically think of the word seductive as being a sexual term.
Right.
But in this case, being seductive to me would be interchangeable with the word like toxically manipulative.
Oh.
Okay, so seductive would be like you have the ability to change people's minds.
Okay.
Or to turn people around and follow a different direction.
Ooh.
So
So do you think there are some careers that lend well to some of these types?
100%.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like ministry, politics.
Oh yeah,
not
they
no
all fit this right here. And I can say that because I am a preacher. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so the next one is 3 with the 4 wing, the
Mm-hmm.
professional. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I got the dreamer, and this one gets the professional. Like,
I
hey,
know.
what gives?
Doesn't that sound good? I want to be that. They tend to be very creative.
Yeah.
So when I wing real hard to my 4,
Right?
I am pulling that creativity.
Right.
I'm pulling that ingenuity.
Right.
I'm pulling those ideas, and a lot of times those help you become
Right.
more successful.
Yeah,
a better professional.
Yeah.
When you're the creative thinker, when you're
Right.
the creative, really pulling things from that 4 wing, it makes me a better professional, I guess
I
you would
want to
say.
pull from a 4 wing.
You do?
Can't I do that as a 9?
I think my daughter is a 4, and I love to watch
Yeah, she dances.
the emotional roller coaster that she's on as a young lady, but she's awesome
Yeah.
because
No, they're
she's
so
so
creative
talented.
and artistic.
Oh my goodness, she's so talented. She can dance, she can sing, she can do all these things. And then, just like all of us, we have the healthy side, we have the unhealthy side. But I love it when her and I can get in the car together and it's just the 2 of us. And, we just start making up our own songs. And,
Oh, that's so fun.
it's fun.
Okay, type 4. So since we think she might be a 4, her options here for her wings, the aristocrat or the bohemian. So 4 with the wing 3 is they're calling them the aristocrat. So that's a more extroverted 4, which is interesting. I think the 4s that I've known were not very extroverted. But anyway, these 4s.
So I think it depends if the 4 feels that they are good at what they are being extroverted about.
Gotcha.
Because like I look at my daughter and she would not want to talk in front of anyone,
Right.
any group of people. But you give her a microphone and she gets up there and sings, or you give her a dance floor and she dances. She's danced in front of thousands, right? Because, so that's kind of interesting how that's,
Right.
they tend to be a little more extroverted.
Right. So they also describe it as competitive, upbeat, ambitious, emotionally volatile,
They are very emotionally volatile.
concerned with image. That's definitely pulling from the 3, and flamboyant. And I think that's kind of 4-ish in the whole. They're feelers. They're deep
Yes.
feelers, you
Yes.
know, the 4 is. And then throwing that 3 in there, that's kind of,
It's a lot.
it's, it can be a lot.
It could be a lot.
Okay, 4 with the 5 wing is the bohemian. So this is more introverted side of the 4 because they're pulling from that 5. They're cerebral 5.
They're more
That's
withdrawn.
the thinker. So they're intellectual,
Reserved.
reserved. They can be a little bit more eccentric, have intellectual depth. They mentioned depressed, and that doesn't surprise me much because the 4s are just such deep feelers. And then you tap into that 5, which they're withdrawn anyway, and they go so deep into knowledge that kind of would fit.
4-wing 5 is an interesting conglomeration because 4s really want to stand out or be different.
Right.
Even to the point that they will color their hair purple and pink and blue. Right? And my that's not a good example of like my daughter, but I know 4s that want to be so unique and so different. So a 4-wing 5, they can be socially withdrawn, but outwardly very unique.
Right.
So that's a good example of a 4-wing 5.
Right. And almost all the 4s I've known, when they find out that they're a 4, they tend to go, oh my gosh, that fits for me. And then they're like, oh, there's others like this? Like they want to be unique
they want to be the only
different.
one, right?
And they don't, but it's like, I don't want to be unique and different, like all by myself. But then when there's others, it's like, oh, but I did want to be unique and different all by
Individualists.
myself.
They want to be an individualist.
Individualist.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
Yeah.
describe it. So 5 with the wing 4 is the iconoclast. And the 5 wing 6 is a problem solver. So 5 wing 4. So another thing too interesting about some of these, like for me, 9, 8 wing, and 1 wing, they're all in the gut triad. So 5 wing 4, you're crossing kind of triads too.
Yeah. So when you're winging to things in the other.
In the other triad,
Yeah.
another triad.
See, I'm in the middle, like,
Right.
you know, I'm in the middle of my triad.
Right.
So I wing to, everything I wing to is feeling, and more feeling.
And I've got gut, and more
And I've got, I'm feeling it all.
Right. 5 with the wing 4. So this is the deep thinker with the deep feeler.
Wow.
And we've got the iconoclast. So they tend to be more creative, artistic, that kind of stuff. Humanistic, sensitive, empathetic, withdrawn, and self-absorbed.
These people have to have very high IQs.
How could they not?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have it all.
They do. Yeah, they do. And then the 6 wing is the problem solver. So they're more extroverted of the 5s. And they're loyal, anxious, skeptical.
Skeptical. Yeah.
Skeptical. All the 5s are skeptical,
Yeah.
I think, though.
Yeah.
Cautious. They tend to be interested in the sciences.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I'm
But
not
see,
a
the
5.
6 is the one that's they have that committee of critics in their head. And so that's what the problem solver is
I'm
for
not
the
a 5.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. I'm not smart enough to be a 5.
I wish I were more like a 5.
Okay, 6s. We have a 5 wing and a 7 wing. The 5 wing is the defender. So that's kind of cool. So defender, you know, it's similar to the advocate that we talked about before, but these are more introverted 6s. They're intellectual, cautious, focused, paranoid.
I love that word.
But they're doing that whole worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And with the 5, they go deep. They research. It's like they have all these projects going too. They can with a 5 wing because they're going to study everything about this, and I have to know all about this before I can make a decision.
And part of their paranoia is protecting their inner circle.
Right.
Part of their paranoia, and which I think ties into the name
Defender,
is they're really going to make sure that the people in their inner circle, once you're in, you're in.
Once you're in, you're in.
You're in.
Yep. So that's our 6-5 wing, and here's our 6-7 wing, the buddy.
The buddy.
Yeah, so they're pulling from the 7. 7 is in the different triad. No, it's in the same triad.
5, 6, and 7.
5, 6, and 7. So they're more extroverted. They're pulling from that adventure seeker 7. They're more sociable, playful, funny. Yeah, they're just that extroverted, kind of fun, energetic, active, impulsive. It's kind of funny when you think about this. Like even just like for the 6, you've got that head triad from the 5, and then you've got the fun-loving from the 7. Like you can kind of see how they play out so differently.
Yes.
Anyway, so
really, in each triad, you can see that.
Yeah, and it's kind of been interesting. I hadn't really thought a lot, but like this is the more introverted one. This is the more extroverted one. Yeah.
Right. Each one kind of has one.
So our last one is 7.
So 7 wing 6, called the entertainer. Very loyal, very responsible, very outgoing, relationship oriented.
Right.
Like childlike.
Right. Yeah.
They know how to have a good time.
They do. I have a friend who's a 7, and she's got to be a wing 6. This like fits her to a T. Like you don't want to, if you're gonna have a get together, you want her to be there.
Oh, because she's so much fun.
She's just fun, and she's gonna like make sure everybody else is having fun.
Laugh at the party.
She is, but she isn't. It's like. She's not the center of attention. She doesn't need to be, but she's just going to engage everybody. She's relationship oriented. She's fun, so it's kind of like, oh, we want to make sure she's here.
Aww.
7 wing 8. So that's crossing a different triad.
Yes.
So this one is the realist. I don't know. If you were a 7, would you want to pull on an 8th wing? I don't know. It would ground them, wouldn't it?
It probably would ground them because the 7s can be so scattered and not make decisions timely and things like that.
Right. So that what a huge advantage.
That is a huge advantage.
So they're more free, passionate, adventurous, strong, seek intensity, are leaders, quick-minded, and creative. See, I told you, I think somebody I know is a 7 wing 8. I like her.
You do?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but quick-minded, they can pull that from the 8. Creative, yeah, totally. It's kind of fun thinking about, like, who do I know that might fit, different things.
Right. And that's what we're going to do in later episodes.
I know. So that's a good thing to kind of introduce. So podcast coming up, our next kind of episodes in our Discovering the Enneagram season we're in, we're going to kind of meet with a male and female from each type.
How fun. And interview them.
I know.
And say, what is it like to be a 9?
What's it like to be a 9? Like, what's your favorite thing about being a 9?
What's it like to be an 8? Right.
Right. And that'll be fun. And I want to have a male and female.
Because you get different perspectives.
Different perspectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. We're going to do one type each episode.
That'll be neat. So we can just focus on that one number.
Focus on that one number. Try to kind of get some meat out of that.
We starting with the 8s?
We got to start with the 8s.
We've always started with the 8s. We've got to start with the 8s. There's a reason why you start with the 8s. I love it. I love it.
Well, thanks, Enya, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Enya, pal.
All right. We'll see you later.
If this content has been helpful to you, I'd appreciate it if you would please rate the podcast, post it, and share it on social media. And also post a review. If you'd like to get in contact with me, my phone is 479-561-7600 or email Dr. Deborah at anchoredhopecounseling.net or Dr. Deborah at drdebfordoctors.com. Our website at www.anchoredhopecounseling.net has some useful information, and you can also reach out to me through the website. Remember, you are enough just the way you are.
and you are loved.